there's no typical session, but there are typical things that are coming up most of the sessions. So first, the person remains clothed. There's no undressing. And usually I do sessions standing up, but sitting and laying are also options that are available. Standing up is a good way to start a session with someone who's not used to energy work, because it allows them to really feel and observe the shift happening within themselves, because there's often movement happening, involuntary movement, and sometimes it's gentle, sometimes it's more obvious, and sometimes nothing happens at all visually, and that's all good. During a session, there's nothing a person can do to make it not work. It's going to happen no matter what. So you can talk during a session. You have your you have your eyes open or closed, doesn't matter. You can ask questions. I might answer, I might not, depending what shows up for me too during the session. So during the session, I'll be touching in 2 different points around the body, not based on any meridian, not based on any particular thing, just very intuitive touch of like, here and here. And those 2 touch are really to busy the left mind, so I'm making a measurement and feeling important because I'm doing something, but really allowing my right brain to take over and invite those possibilities in. And so really just make an observation, 2 points, and then I kind of drop in my heart and allow whatever needs to take place. So really I'm not doing anything to a person. And then we have fun with going through time. And then going through time allows us to shift patterns in the past by observing them. And so not changing actions, but allowing us to have a new perception of whatever happened in the past. We go through the different dimensions. Sometimes during traumatic experiences, car accidents, or different things that can happen to us, we fracture ourselves and we send parts of ourselves in different dimensions or in different parts of this world. So we kind of have fun with dimensions. Sometimes just have a glimpse of what that dimension can offer and give that imprint. Then we also have fun with frequencies. Frequencies show up, we activate them, we lower them, we pump them up. And modules, we believe it's a kind of this tool here that I'm using is based on the fact that we all have access on the same information. Once something is learned or done, it's available in the field of consciousness. And so, for example, I might have a session with someone and acupuncture comes up. I'm not going to get needles out and give a session with needles, but I'll download a module of acupuncture and I'll download that into that person and then let that happen. And so same thing, sometimes trust modules shows up a lot and different modules comes in and we download them and we allow them to be. And then of course the most fun part of the session is just seeing what comes up. And often we have quite funny things coming up, sometimes things that don't really make sense, and but it has a variation of possibilities and we just allow that to come in.
So I was really interested when you were talking before about the tools that you might give to somebody so that they can actually say deal with something like just right when it happens.
Exactly, it's because a lot of the alternative tools that we sessions we have with people, they often make you want to come back and come back and come back, and that's what I want to not happen. I want ideally maximum see the person 3 times maximum. And then again, I'm always happy to see people, but ideally is to give tools to people. So for example, the tools I wouldn't give them now because they need context, but different tools that apply to different people. Usually it's not the same tool that will be given to the same, to different people, just whatever comes up. And again, it's just allowing to receive what shows up for me and then transferring that. And so I have one client now that's been 3 months. I haven't seen her, and she's using the tools and seeing wonderful things happening in her life now. And so, I don't know.
So how does it? You were mentioning that a lot of your work is you work with people directly, right?
So there's in-person sessions, but I also offer distance sessions. And so people are often resistant to distance sessions because they feel that, oh, well, they don't have the personal experience that occurs, and they're afraid that they might not have the same results. And from my experience of the sessions I've given in a distant, it's the same thing, because we're just playing with patterns. And so for me to be touching you, or for me to be 200 kilometers away and doing a session, the people claim the same effects. And often,
Wow.
I use plush toys or whatever comes up that I need to use to identify the person. And then, for example, during one session, I really felt like I had to stretch the plush toy, and I was stretching it, and eventually I put it in the child pose on my end. So I usually start the session, I call the person, and then hang up, do the session, and call back afterwards to do the debriefing. And so when I called that person, she was like, oh, it's so strange. I felt like I stretched the whole time, and then I just laid out, and then I felt like going in child pose for the rest of the session. And it's all happening, without me telling her what to do. So we're all very sensitive beings, and we need to realize that more. And so distance sessions are very useful when, out of time, or emergency sessions. Like, I really need to move this. I feel it's really heavy. 9 p.m. Okay, maybe I can do it. Let's do it. Go sit in your room. I'll do it in my house. And, so it's very practical. And it's almost easier because you just stay home or you stay wherever you are. But both, I wouldn't say one is better than the other. Both are great. And whatever needs, they can meet both needs, all needs. So yeah.